What's up, my crafty friends? My name is Carrie, and I'm so excited you're joining me for another video today. Now, I will tell you ahead of time that this video is slightly different than my normal crafting videos that you're used to seeing on my channel because, y'all, I finally got around to redoing that old sewing machine that I've had sitting here for a while now, and y'all, look how beautiful it is now as my coffee bar. I can't wait to show you the transformation. This is what it looked like before, and y'all, I knew when I found this at the thrift store for just $5 that it would make a great coffee bar. It fit perfectly in this little space in my dining room. I'm so excited about how it turned out, and I can't wait to show you how easy it was. Now, I did use Amy Howard products today, and y'all, this was my very first time to use anything Amy Howard at home, and it was so incredibly easy. One bonus is I barely made a mess. I'm such a messy painter. I'll be sure to put a list of all of the products I used from Amy Howard at home down in the description box below in case you want to check those out. So if you want to see how it made this transformation, keep watching this video. And if you enjoy this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up because that would mean the world to me. If you like what you see, consider subscribing to my channel if you're not already and hit all notifications so you don't miss anything I've got coming your way. So that's enough talking, y'all. Let's start painting. Okay, y'all, here's my $5 thrift store find, and I am so excited to jump in and start playing with these Amy Howard at home products. So let's take a look at what we're going to be using. So we've got Clean Slate, we've got the One Step Paint in Midnight Dreams, we've got Better with Age, we've got the Cerusing Wax, we're going to use a 1.5 inch flat chip brush and also the 2-inch wedge specialty brush. The first thing I want to do is remove the hardware and then just give it a good polish with some chrome polish. The next thing we want to do is to wipe everything down with our Amy Howard at Home Clean Slate. Now this is great for removing all of the wax and grease and all of the oily residue that comes from old furniture. This is a vital first step when you're working with any furniture that you're painting because your paint is only as good as your prep work. So you want to make sure that you get all of that dust and dirt and wax and all that film off. The next thing that we're going to do is to strip the top of our sewing machine. I do like to use this product called Citrus Strip. I like it because it doesn't have a very strong odor and it's super easy to use. So we just spray it on, let it set for about 30 minutes, and then take our scraper and scrape it off. This is a great way to strip off that old varnish. I just picked this up at my local hardware store. Now, after this has set for about 45 minutes, I'm just taking my little plastic scraper and just scraping it off onto a paper towel. This is the hardest and the messiest part without a doubt. But I know if I want that restoration hardware look, this is a vital step. I do recommend that you wear gloves for this part of the project because you will get a little bit messy. Unfortunately, stripping furniture is not a glamorous job, but if you really want that look, you've got to get it off. There's honestly no telling how old this varnish was on top of this piece of furniture, so it has been there for a long time. Next, I'm going to use my Clean Slate and I'm just going to wipe off all of this excess stripper. I do want to make sure that the entire surface is totally clean and ready for the next step. Again, this is a crucial step. Clean is the key. Oh my goodness, y'all, can you believe how gorgeous this wood is? I'm so impressed. It is absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to get this Better with Age on here and see what it looks like. It's just going to be so beautiful. This is still wet from our Clean Slate, so I'm going to let this dry for a few more minutes and then I'm going to take my 80 grit sanding block and just sand the top of our sewing machine. We're going to be using our Better with Age next, and that's going to just totally antique this wood and make it look like it is super old. And it works better if you have a roughed up surface. I know this product may seem like it's a stain, but it's not. It actually works with the tannins that are in the natural wood, and it's a chemical reaction. So we're just going to open the top and use our paint stick and give it a nice stir. We want to make sure that all of the ingredients in here get stirred up really well. And now I'm just going to take my 1.5 inch chip brush and I'm just going to brush it on. You don't want to go lightly with this. You want to kind of put it on a little bit heavy. I'm so excited to see how this is going to turn out. I'm actually going to leave this part of the table showing so that you can watch the chemical reaction through the rest of the video. I think it's going to be so cool. The Better With Age does take a couple of hours to fully react, so while this is happening, I'm going to go ahead and start putting on our one-step paint. I'm going to give it a good shake, shake, shake. And y'all, look at this color. It is the most beautiful navy I have ever seen in my life. It is so dark and so rich. Okay, so I just popped the top open, and y'all, it's a little bit brighter than I thought it would be. I may or may not be a little bit worried at this point, but we're just gonna go with it. I'll admit it is a little bit thinner than I thought it would be too. I'm kind of used to working with chalk paint, so we're just gonna see how this goes. Now, the great thing about this one-step paint is it needs no stripping, sanding, priming, or sealing, and it only takes 2 coats. I'm going to put this on with my wedge specialty brush, and I'm using a 2-inch size. Y'all, wow. The paint just really soaks up into this brush so well. Okay, let's get started. I'm not going to be taping off my top, but if you're not comfortable doing that, then by all means just grab your blue painter's tape and just run that tape around your edge so you don't get any paint on the top. But I'm totally just going to go with this and use my brush. One thing that I'm super impressed with is how well this paint is covering. Even though it is thinner than the chalk paint that I'm used to working with, this is going on very, very well. I'm not seeing a lot of brush strokes either, which is excellent. I can't wait to see what this is going to look like once it starts to dry. I'm not going to bore you with painting this whole piece on camera, so I'm just going to get the front painted here, and then we'll move on to the next step. One other thing that I really love about the consistency of this is how well it seems to go and settle into the cracks. So if you've got a super ornate piece, then this would be great. I don't have a super ornate piece, but I do have these little holes or little rings here, and it is just going in there so well. I'm not having to put a lot of effort at all to get the paint to go in there. So that's a huge, huge plus. I honestly cannot get over how easy this is to cover. I know I am painting a dark color over the top of another dark color, so that probably does help the situation, but y'all, this is such an easy paint to work with. It is nothing at all like chalk paint. I think this would make an excellent paint to use for refinishing kitchen cabinets or bathroom cabinets, simply because I'm not seeing a lot of those brush marks like I have with paints that I've used in the past when I painted cabinets. So I still have painting to do on my bathroom cabinets, and I'm super excited to try this paint on those. According to the Amy Howard at Home website, this one-step paint can be used on wood and glass and resin and melamine and formica and concrete, ironstone, outdoor furniture, and decor. Y'all, this one-step paint truly is a game changer from Amy Howard at Home, and I cannot wait to see what else I can do with this. Isn't it beautiful? Wow. The color is just gorgeous. With so many paint color choices available, and also the 16 or the 32 ounce size, y'all, there is a color and a size for every project that you can imagine. Okay, so we're almost through with the front part of our sewing machine, and y'all, this is looking so pretty. Now, you only have to wait 30 minutes in between coats before you put on your next coat. Having such a quick dry time means that I'm going to be able to cut my project time in half. Okay, so this is going to take 30 minutes like I said, and then we're going to come back, we're going to put on our very next coat. Being one-step paint means you don't have to seal it, so once I put on my second coat, I will be done. All right, y'all, here it is. It dried so much darker, and I'm so thankful for that. Now let's take a look and see if we have any brush marks. Okay, I'm not seeing any, y'all. The finish is so smooth and so buttery soft. When you touch it, it feels like it was just a factory piece of furniture. I'm really impressed. And have a look at the top. It is aging so nicely. Y'all, I'm so excited to see this all finished. Okay, so now let's go in with our second coat, and I just want you to see the difference of the color, how much darker it dries. So when you get your color, if you have a dark color like this, don't freak out like I did, because I promise you it will dry darker like it's supposed to. At the moment it does sort of look like blue painter's tape, doesn't it? See, you can see the brush strokes just slightly, but when it dries it is just buttery smooth. So beautiful. Okay, so our Better with Age has dried for a couple of hours, and now we're ready to put on the cerusing wax. For this, I'm going to use my same 1.5" chip brush and also a piece of cardboard. Because this is in a squeeze bottle, it is super easy to get out. We're just simply going to squeeze the amount that we need onto this piece of cardboard and work it in. So we'll first load up our chip brush, and then we'll offload most of it onto our cardboard. I'm going to start off going with the grain first, and then I'm going to come back and work against the grain. I really want to get this wax totally rubbed into all the cracks and crevices, because that's what's going to give it that aged and antiqued look. I know it looks like I'm ruining this top at the moment, but I hope it gets better, because I'm a little bit worried. But I have faith. I've watched plenty of Amy Howard's videos, and y'all, she is such an excellent, excellent teacher. And this is the way she suggests doing it. So this is what I'm going with. I have worked with other white waxes in the past, and they are not nearly as creamy and easy to work with as this cerusing wax is. Now, this cerusing wax can also be used on metal in addition to wood. You can use it on stained or painted wood, or you can use it on raw wood. It gives it a great sheen and a durability. I don't really want mine to be very, very white, so I will be buffing most of this off. Normally you want to let your wax set for 30 minutes to an hour, but as soon as I get mine on, I'm going to actually go ahead and start buffing it off. I'm just going to continue working over the whole table until it's covered. I'm also not going to forget to do my edge. Okay, so now we're ready to buff it off. And for this, I'm just using an old rag. You can use a t-shirt, or you can also use steel wool. Now the steel wool will take off more of the wax and just leave it in the crevices. And honestly, after I rub this in with my towel, I probably will go back over it with my steel wool, just because I want just a little tiny bit of the wax left. But I just want the sheen. You're not going to need to go to the gym after you do this, because your arms will definitely get a workout. But it's going to be totally, totally worth it. Just keep buffing in your wax until you get the sheen and the color that you're going for. One tip that I did pick up in a video that I watched of Amy Howard is, if you have too much of your wax on your piece and you want to take just a little bit of it off, you can use your clean slate and actually rub a little bit of that on there to pull off some of that wax, which I think that's an excellent, excellent tip. Okay, I think this is looking beautiful. I love that it does have the antiquing on the top, but you can still see that wood grain showing through. I just think that is such a beautiful look and totally restoration hardware. Okay, so this is done. The only thing that's left to do is to put the hardware back on and get it into place. Okay, y'all, here it is in the little nook in my dining room, and y'all, I absolutely love it. It is the perfect size for this spot, and going with that dark navy was totally the thing to do. I'm really glad that I decided to shine up the brass hardware, and I'm even more excited about the top. Y'all, look at all of the depth and the detail that is in this top. I'm over the moon excited, and I'm so in love with how it looks. The combination of the Better with Age with the cerusing wax over the top of that was such a beautiful combination. I'm highly impressed. The navy color of my coffee bar goes perfect with the dishes that I made using a Maker Studio products and Dollar Tree dishes, and I think it is absolutely beautiful. If you want to check out that tutorial on a Maker Studios Facebook page, I'll be sure to put a link down below in the comments. Y'all, I'm so impressed with every single one of these Amy Howard at Home products. I know this was my very first time using them, but with the tutorials that Amy has provided on her website and also her Facebook page, I was never intimidated or afraid or scared to use them. I'm really, really impressed. That does it for today's video, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up because that would mean the world to me. And let me know down in the comments below if you love what I did. I hope this really inspires you to go looking around your thrift stores and finding some sad piece of furniture that looks like it needs a new home and consider transforming it into something beautiful that you can use for your coffee bar. So think outside the box. Sometimes you can find old dressers, you can find these old sewing machines, and just breathe new life into them and totally make them something that you can use for your coffee bar in your home. Until next time, happy DIYing, y'all.